Deep in the heart of Germany, hidden by a forest of secrets, lies Beelitz Military Hospital. This sprawling complex, now shrouded in mystery and overgrown with time, once stood as a beacon of hope and healing. A colossal structure of crumbling brick and broken glass, it tells a story of grandeur lost to the ravages of time and conflict. A place where history and horror collide, where the past and present intertwine in a dance of decay and desolation. This is no ordinary hospital. This is a place where the echoes of suffering linger, where the dead refuse to be silenced. The very walls seem to whisper tales of agony and despair. Built in 1898, Beelitz was intended as a sanctuary, a place of healing for the sick and wounded. Its halls were once filled with the hopes and dreams of those seeking recovery. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. War came to Beelitz not once but twice, transforming this haven of hope into a crucible of despair. The hospital bore witness to the horrors of both world wars, its corridors echoing with the cries of the wounded and dying. The walls, once pristine and white, became stained with the blood of soldiers. Each brick and tile absorbed the pain and suffering of countless souls. The air, once filled with the sounds of recovery, grew heavy with the silence of death. The laughter and conversations of patients and staff were replaced by an eerie stillness. Beelitz, once a symbol of hope, became a monument to the horrors of war. Its grand architecture now stands as a testament to the fragility of peace and the enduring scars of conflict. And within its decaying walls, something sinister took root. The very essence of the place seemed to change, as if the suffering had left a permanent mark on its soul. Whispers of the past echo through the halls, telling tales of pain and suffering. The rusted medical instruments in shadowy corners seem to hold on to the memories of those who once walked these halls. The spirits of those who perished here seem to linger, trapped in a place where time stands still. The flickering lights and creaking doors add to the sense of unease, as if the past is always just a step behind. Beelitz Military Hospital remains a haunting reminder of the past, a place where the shadows of history refuse to fade. It stands as a silent witness to the passage of time, a monument to the countless lives that were touched by its walls. The stories of Beelitz are etched into its very fabric, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring impact of history. The first whispers of conflict reached Beelitz in 1914 as the guns of World War I roared to life. The once serene landscape was soon overshadowed by the grim realities of war. Soldiers, their bodies shattered by bullets and shrapnel, flooded the hospital's wards. The sheer number of injured overwhelmed the medical staff, who worked tirelessly to save lives amidst the chaos. The air grew thick with the stench of antiseptic and fear. Nurses and doctors moved like phantoms through the dimly lit corridors, their faces etched with exhaustion and determination. Among the wounded lay a young soldier, Adolf Hitler, his arm injured in battle. He was just one of many, indistinguishable in the sea of suffering that filled the hospital. Little did anyone know that this wounded soldier would one day plunge the world into darkness, forever linking his name to the horrors of Beelitz. His time here was a mere prelude to the devastation he would later unleash. World War II cast an even darker shadow over Beelitz. The hospital, already scarred by the First Great War, now faced an even more sinister occupation. The Nazis claimed the hospital as their own, transforming it into a hub for their brutal medical experiments. The once hallowed halls of healing became a place of unspeakable cruelty. Stories leaked out of horrific procedures, of screams echoing through the night. Patients became unwilling subjects in experiments that defied all moral boundaries. The hospital, once a place of healing, became a house of horrors. The walls, which had once heard the cries of the wounded seeking solace, now absorbed the anguished screams of those subjected to inhumane treatments. The weight of these atrocities seeped into the very foundation of Beelitz, leaving an indelible stain on its soul. The echoes of its dark past still linger, a haunting reminder of the depths of human cruelty and the resilience of those who suffered within its walls. One name whispered in hushed tones is forever linked to the dark heart of Beelitz Dr. Eugen Fischer. A man of chilling ambition and twisted morality, Fischer used Beelitz as his laboratory of horrors. He conducted inhumane experiments on prisoners of war, his thirst for knowledge eclipsed only by his utter disregard for human life. Patients became subjects, their bodies mutilated in the name of science. Screams echoed through the abandoned corridors, testament to the unspeakable acts committed within those walls. It is said that Fischer made a pact with darker forces, trading souls for forbidden knowledge. Whether true or not, one thing is certain: evil took root in Beelitz during those dark days, an evil that lingers still. Years passed. The wars ended, but the horrors of Beelitz refused to fade. The echoes of its dark past lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of the suffering that once took place within its walls. The hospital, abandoned and left to decay, became a magnet for the curious, the adventurous, and the foolhardy. Its crumbling walls and eerie silence called out to those who sought the thrill of the unknown, the allure of the forbidden. And it is from these trespassers, these seekers of the unknown, that the stories began to surface. Tales of strange occurrences, of encounters that defied explanation, spread like wildfire among those who dared to enter. Stories of chilling encounters, of unexplained phenomena, of the restless dead walking the halls. The air seemed to thicken with an unseen presence, a palpable sense of dread that clung to every corner. Some spoke of ghostly figures glimpsed through shattered windows, their eyes burning with a cold, ethereal light. These apparitions, they said, were the souls of those who had suffered and died within the hospital's walls, unable to find peace. Others told of disembodied voices whispering their pain and suffering on the wind. These voices, barely audible yet unmistakable, seemed to carry the weight of untold sorrow and despair. Footsteps echoed in the dead of night, heavy and slow, as if some unseen entity patrolled the halls. The sound would start and stop abruptly, leaving those who heard it with a sense of being watched, of not being alone. Beelitz, it seemed, was not content to let its past remain buried. The hospital's dark history was alive, reaching out from the shadows to remind the living of the horrors that had once taken place. The horrors it had witnessed were reaching out, eager to claim new victims. Those who entered its decaying halls did so at their own peril, for Beelitz was a place where the past and present intertwined, where the dead refused to rest.